Good evening. So, we are discussing tonight the question that gets asked so often. Let me just move this around. How do I know if I'm meant to be an entrepreneur? So, I'm Jen Marr, Prosperous Jen. I turn 9 to 5 grinders into entrepreneurs who build businesses that support the life of their dreams. I do this through a framework of clarity, confidence, and certainty. Clarity is your vision, confidence is the systems and the processes, and certainty comes when you are aligned with your deepest desires, knowing who you are and what your purpose is. And so I get this question quite often about how do I know if I am meant to be an entrepreneur? So at any point tonight, if you have any questions, just pop them in to the comments. Also, drop a comment ready, and I will send you my 6-figure blueprint. There's no strings attached here, no hardcore sales. My mission is to help over 1 million people step into the highest and best version of themselves. And I believe that my calling is to do this through business owners and entrepreneurs and converting people who aren't living their purpose and understand or feeling fulfilled. So, number one, how do you know if you're meant to be an entrepreneur? Well, my number one answer to this is everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur. I truly believe this. It is 100% programming that we are meant to have a 9 to 5 job and go to college and do all these different things. I am not knocking any of that. If you are able to find a career that lights you up and you feel fulfilled, and then there's maybe some people who maybe they don't have that in their career, but their career supports that in other ways. They have figured out what lights them up. But for me, it's very important that I spend the most of my time doing things that I feel really good and really passionate about. And this business, for me, after all that I've been through, I have managed to build a business that supports the life of my dreams. And that is what I want to help everybody else. So I want to make that clear. I really believe that everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur. There's a lot of different strategies, processes. I see comments, but I don't know why they're not popping up. Okay. Hi, Jose. So yeah, what was I saying? I get distracted by the comments. So yes, back to that. So yeah, I do strongly believe, hello, Tracy, that everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. And I also believe even if you're in a career, you can be entrepreneurial within that career, really figure out a way to align yourself with the greater good that you are serving and become passionate about it. But the ultimate, the holy grail really truly is building a business that supports the life of your dreams. And so some of the signs that I believe out there are, number one, you just can't stop thinking about what if I did this? And imagine if I could do that. And, you have all these big ideas. Now, you guys, I definitely have been an entrepreneur from like day one. I was a bad girl. There was a time when I used to go and cut my neighbor's flowers, take them home, wrap them up in ribbons, and then go back and knock on their door and sell them the flowers. So Tracy, there was an early sign right there, right? So I did a lot of bad things. What else did I do? I was very entrepreneurial. I took the multivitamins, my mom's multivitamins, and I was selling them as like drugs in 5th grade. My guidance counselor was literally like, I don't know if I should be mad at you or you're just some kind of weird little genius. So there were a lot of signs for me at a very young age. I've almost never really had like a normal job, like 1 or 2 here or there. So it was definitely in my blood from day one. My father's very entrepreneurial, although I did not spend a lot of time with my father in my life, but lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of signs. So your work currently drains you physically, you just don't feel like going, but that just could be that you're in the wrong job. But coupling that with, what if, and you have all these amazing ideas. Are you constantly scrolling entrepreneurial content, reading those different kind of magazines, and this is like yearning? You feel this yearning. I'm going to get to that question in a minute, Jose. And what else? Yeah. And when you get to the point, and here's the big thing about taking the leap and becoming an entrepreneur, you really have to become, unless you have a shit ton of capital, which, by the way, I did not, you really have to get comfortable with the question mark around money. Because sometimes you're, rolling in it, and then you take another risk and you do something different, and it's not always guaranteed. So there's definitely some risk, because you get to this place, because it's really a blessing to be able to be in the place where you're not allowing financial fears, financial insecurities, scarcity mindsets, and all of that to rule and run your life. So it's a beautiful thing. And then this is a big one. You literally feel like you're living somebody else's life. And a lot of people that come to work with me, a lot of people that are transitioning out of a career and wanting to start a business, that's what they feel like. You guys, that's what I felt like. And even though being in real estate for 30 years was entrepreneurial in many ways, it wasn't aligned with who I was and what I wanted. So that alignment is super, super important. Jose, how do you know if now is the right time to start? The right time to start is right now, always. You don't have to take the huge leap or make giant risks, but start putting together. So drop ready in the comments, and you can get my 6-figure blueprint. And this will sort of help you to begin to create structure, strategy, systems, processes, ideas, identifying the best kind of business for you. There's a lot of work to do before you launch. So no matter where you are, you can get started. And I say get started and make a mess. Like, don't be afraid to not be perfect. Not be perfect. And so that's one of the things that I take people through. Let's see. Once someone realizes they're meant to be an entrepreneur, what kind of supportive structure do they usually need in the first 6 months? Well, definitely you can get all of that in my 6-figure blueprint. But so we start out, and I'll just go through this 3 C's right now. Perfect that you asked. So the 3 C's, it starts with clarity. And that clarity starts with your vision. Really identifying, what the greater good of your business, what purpose it serves, and what kind of transformation you are providing your clients or your customers, and really gaining a lot of clarity around that, and then understanding where you want to be in year 1, where you want to be in year 3, where you want to be in year 5, and then creating a blueprint to match that vision, those aligned actions to get you to where you want to go. And so we start with that clarity, which is, writing your offers, deciding what kind of business, making sure we have a business model, the values, the vision, and we start there. And then we move into the confidence phase, is because we then create systems, processes, structure. And if you're a solopreneur, which many of the people that are in my group coaching are, we even build that out for scale, so that you can have, hire an assistant, hire an admin, hire a marketing company, and exactly the roles that they're going to be fulfilling for you. So we put systems and processes in place once we have that clarity and once you have that vision, which is all in my 6-figure blueprint. So hopefully you drop the message and you get a copy of that. Then we move into certainty. And this is my 3 C's: the clarity, the confidence, and certainty, which are a big part of my framework in my coaching. And certainty comes from aligned action with that vision. And when we work on your vision, we are not just working on your business vision. We are working on everything. This business is to build the life of your dreams. And so we want to make sure that you have that vision, not just for the kind of business that you want, but what does my life look like? What does my Monday through Friday look like? What do my weekends look like? How much time am I taking off? Do I work 2 days a week? Do I work 3 days a week? Do I work 7 days a week? Whatever is going to make you happy and make you feel the most fulfilled. What do your relationships want? What do you want your relationships to look like? What do you want your health to look like? Every aspect of your life really clearly defined, and you understand what you want on the other end. And so when you have that clarity, and then you put together the structure, the systems, the processes, the routines, all the things that align you with that vision, that's where you start to get into confidence, and that's where you start to feel flow. And when you are in flow, and right now I am in flow today, but I spent a few weeks out of flow, very frustrated, but I don't stay in that space for very long. And usually it's, for me, when that happens, it's before a breakthrough. And I think what happens to people is when they start to get frustrated, they begin to give up. And if you're anything like me, entrepreneurial for sure, no, I just get a little cranky and bang my head around and kind of snap at my team, and then I have the breakthrough. So says we're not streaming on Facebook. Oh well, that stinks. So I still have a full-time job. Can I really do this? Yeah, you absolutely can. And again, lots of people are willing to take the leap and take the risk. Perhaps you have some capital put aside, but if you don't, you are able to do this in segments. If you're able to commit and focus and put together your blueprint and really have that clarity and that vision, and you know exactly what you're going to work on. So if it's only like 5-10 hours a week that you have where you can put towards building the business, you will still be able to move forward. Lots of people, as a matter of fact, my 6-figure blueprint used to be called the side hustle 6-figure blueprint. So lots of people become entrepreneurial before they leave their job, like nurses, firemen, police officers. Many of them do that. So, well, this has been awesome, you guys. I'm going to be here every single Tuesday. I hope that you join in. I am looking forward to building a community of people that are dedicated to building a business that supports the life of their dreams. I am so excited to be sharing my journey with you. I'm here in the Dominican Republic, and I am doing exactly that, building the business that supports the life of my dreams. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Oh, Empower Hour this Friday as well. 8 a.m. EST.